Hong Kong is a well-known international city. Other than local Chinese, there are also other people from different ethnic backgrounds. In a city of 7.4 million, how many of us are ethnic minorities? How much do we know about them? Let's dig in more. According to the Census and Statistics Department of Hong Kong, ethnic minorities refers to persons of non-Chinese ethnicity. The summary report of 2021 population census stated that 8.4% of the Hong Kong population are ethnic minorities, with Filipinos, Indonesians, South Asians, Thai, and Japanese accounting for the largest ethnic groups. Despite living in the same city, most ethnic minorities, unfortunately, do not enjoy the same quality of life as we do. In general, they earn a lot less. In 2021, the average income of a local family of 5 is around 46,000 Hong Kong dollars, whereas the same family from ethnic minority groups earn one-half less. This phenomenon is attributable to the unequal education opportunities, unequal employment opportunities, and low social acceptance, leading to intergenerational poverty. This makes it difficult for ethnic minorities to climb up the social ladder. In this video, we will discuss more on such problems and solutions to the current situation.
School dropout rate compared to their Chinese counterparts. This is an inequality, but why? Different from the Chinese, school is the only way for kids to learn the language for future uses. A survey result shows that most parents indicated that kindergarten was the only place where the children learn Chinese. It shows the lack of exposure to Chinese of ethnic minority. However, the lack of support, for example, the Chinese language curriculum second language learning framework implemented on 2014 has only unclear and unspecific teaching and learning goals. The government is probably not very interested in changing the situation. In the field of government, if all of us are doing high-skilled jobs, who will do the lower-skilled ones? There must be a weaker group, and unluckily, ethnic minorities are the chosen ones. Of course, the ethnic minority would like to improve their education opportunity, but limited by their low social status, it's hard for them to shout out and let the others hear the
She's also struggled with career issues in addition to the education obstacle. Speaking specifically about the challenges, finding a stable or even well-paying employment and leading a discrimination-free, comfortable work life are both potential challenges. According to a recent newspaper from The Standard, highly educated ethnic minorities are unable to get white-collar jobs because they are unable to communicate in Chinese at a level comparable to that of the natives. To illustrate, they normally choose to take the GCSE instead of DSE as a way to get into university, as the Chinese level required is much lower. Ethnic minorities taking this exam will undoubtedly have a difficult time communicating verbally and writing in the future workplace in Hong Kong, a city where the Chinese is the primary language. Consequently, many businesses could decide not to recruit them. However, many ethnic minorities may not be very well educated too. As a result, given that they do not speak Chinese well and lack a high level of education, they will be working as elementary and low-paying laborers. According to the report in 2016, the proportions of the elementary employees among places, for example, like Pakistan's, Nepalese, all topped 30%. The employers, for instance, are one of the many groups with a stake in maintaining the current circumstances. Employers will benefit as the cost of the laborers are cheaper, as their job requires less professional skill. Of course, the ethnic minority is also interested in changing this to enhance their quality of life.
The above-mentioned reasons lead to intergenerational poverty. Due to racial discrimination and low academic qualifications, particularly in Hong Kong, where credentialism is widely adopted, ethnic minorities are less likely to have high income and high social class in the long run, so as their offspring, due to less resources, opportunities, and social linkages provided by their social class. This poverty trap from systemic inequality is therefore long-lasting and rigid.
From the perspective of social acceptance, generally, social acceptance among ethnic minorities was low. This situation is observed among the minorities group from Eastern Asian and African. According to the degree of acceptance of ethnic minorities surveyed, the degree of acceptance of Southeast Asia, South Asian, and African among Hong Kongers is lower than the acceptance of Chinese, European, African, and Japanese. The average score of acceptance toward Pakistan, African, and Nepalese are only 7.6. Pakistan, African, and Nepalese are the least accepted in different aspects, for example, in work, living, and education. Generally, local communities have a subjective as well as narrow and exclusive definition of what a Hong Kong is. They need to be born in Hong Kong, Cantonese speaking, and need to be Chinese. That causes African minorities hard to integrate in our local communities. In Hong Kong, African minorities have been negatively stereotyped or labeled by the communities. For example, words like crime, poverty, low level of culture, smelly have been used to describe them. So, what are the reasons behind low social acceptance among African minorities? Firstly, cultural conflict have caused barriers for African minorities to be involved in our communities. Hong Kong's local people lack of understanding of their cultures and traditions, for example, traditional clothing and habit remedy, which cause African minorities hard to be involved in our communities. Secondly, local people may exclude African minorities because of their competition of labor. The African minorities could be one of the major sources of labor which may fit the working opportunities of people. If African minorities have a better educational level and opportunities, they would become more competitive in working market that directly compete with local people. Poverty and inequalities among African minorities could maintain the competitiveness of middle-class labor in Hong Kong.
So, what could be done? To allow the ethnic minorities to attain a better level on Chinese language, the government can hire retired teachers to teach ethnic minority students Chinese after school. Because full-time teachers are occupied with school affairs, retired teachers can take up the role of teaching them. So ethnic minorities can have more exposure to Chinese as they can listen, write, and speak.
In view of intergenerational poverty, upward social mobility should be provided to ethnic minorities. For example, more chances to learn, to get a well-paid job, and most importantly, be really included in Hong Kong. So through generations, they can slowly walk up the social ladder and entering higher social class, like being professionals. Repeated cycle of poverty traps can therefore be broken.
Restructuring the examination scale for the ethnic minority would be a consideration when it comes to the solutions to the issue. For instance, instead of merely concentrating on the test, an educational system may be designed using Chinese as a topic that helps students in the job, and as a result, the ethnic minority's level of Chinese would be raised. The Hong Kong government should also increase the financial support for NGOs to help ethnic minorities to find employment in the future.
We also recommended the government to have cultural events for ethnic minorities to meet up with local communities. Because of cultural barriers, ethnic minorities seldom have linkage with locals and hard to integrate with communities, which cause them only stay in their communities with ethnic minorities. We hope that this event could increase contact and linkage between EM and the Hong Kong peoples to strengthen their bondings and increase their sense of belonging in Hong Kong by participating in more local activities and with local communities, and to serve the situation that ethnic minorities only live in their comfort zone. Moreover, media promotion could help change the negative stereotype of ethnic minorities. We recommend that government should promote the story and real experience of ethnic minorities through social media, cooperate with key opinion leaders to introduce their own story. For example, YouTube channel Gordon Lau and RTHK have invited local ethnic minorities to share their own experience. It could help the general public to know the actual living for ethnic minorities and to eliminate the stereotype among ethnic minorities through increasing more media coverage.
To wrap up, ethnic minorities empirically display low income than that of average local family in Hong Kong, which is attributable to three key drivers. Ethnic minorities display low accessibility to Chinese language education, which at the same time is not being attentively supported by the government. In terms of job opportunities, it is again fluency in Chinese language that often leads to low-paid job in Hong Kong. With regards to low social acceptance, ethnic minorities are often negatively stereotyped due to cultural conflicts or by the fact that they exhibit threat to the labor market on the back of cheap cost of labor. These three factors uniformly leads to an intergenerational poverty, which ultimately contributes to ethnic minorities' deteriorated quality of life. In this context, government as a key intermediary of these dynamics display a hugely important and critical role in settling down this problem. Ultimately, such academic contemplations are highly necessary and important to raise social awareness against the ethnic minorities and rebuild this city of 7.4 million as a place of justice.